Understanding how people see you isn't always easy, especially when you're so used to your own reflection, your own voice, your own presence. But here's the truth. You might be a lot more attractive than you give yourself credit for. And no, we're not just talking about looks. It's the way people respond to your energy, your vibe, the way you walk into a room without even trying. In this video, we're breaking down the subtle signs that reveal you've got that pull, that presence, that quiet magnetism most people don't even recognize in themselves. So if you've ever brushed off compliments or wondered why people act a little different around you, keep watching. You might finally understand what everyone else has already noticed. Sign number 1. You get compliments on random things. You ever notice how people compliment you on the most random things, like your smile, your laugh, or even just your vibe? They're not always saying, "You're hot," but they'll drop little comments like, "There's something about the way you carry yourself," or "You have really calming energy," and you might brush it off thinking they're just being nice. But here's the thing. Those kinds of compliments are often code for, "I find you attractive, but I'm trying not to make it obvious." People sometimes feel awkward being direct, so they focus on specific details that caught their attention. Maybe it's the way your eyes light up when you talk, or how effortlessly you make people feel comfortable. These comments seem random on the surface, but they're little clues. You're standing out in ways you probably don't even realize, because what's normal to you feels magnetic to someone else. 2. People hold eye contact longer than normal. Sometimes you'll notice someone looking at you a little longer than expected. Maybe it's mid-conversation, or even during a quiet moment, and they're just holding your gaze. Not in a weird or uncomfortable way, but like they're caught in it. That kind of look usually isn't random. When someone is drawn to you or finds you attractive, their eyes naturally linger. It's instinct. Most of the time, they don't even realize they're doing it. And it's not always some intense stare either. Sometimes it's those quick, repeated glances they try to play off, or that subtle gaze that shifts the second you meet their eyes. If you often catch people doing this, whether across a room or in the middle of a conversation, it's likely because something about you is pulling them in. That kind of eye contact isn't just routine. It's a reaction, a quiet but powerful way of saying, without a word, "I see you, and I like what I see." Number 3. Strangers act nicer than usual. There are moments when people just seem unusually nice to you, like the barista throws in a free extra shot, someone holds the door a little longer than necessary, or a stranger goes out of their way to offer help. Sure, kindness exists, and the world still has good people. But when it happens consistently, it's often tied to how you present yourself, especially if you're more attractive than you realize. Whether people admit it or not, looks can influence behavior. It's not about being model-level stunning either. Sometimes it's your energy, your smile, or the way you carry yourself that makes people want to engage, please, or impress you. You might not even notice it because it feels normal to you, but others are reacting to something they find appealing. And while no one wants to believe the world plays favorites, physical appeal does change the way you're treated, subtly but powerfully. 4. Women try to impress you. Oh, and here's another one most people overlook. When women try to impress you, even in subtle ways, it's often a quiet sign that they find you more attractive than you realize. It might not always be obvious like someone outright flirting, but you'll notice little shifts. She suddenly brings up her accomplishments or drops hints about her goals, talents, or even her values in conversation. Maybe she starts dressing a bit differently when she knows you'll be around, more polished, more stylish, or talks about things she knows you're interested in, even if they weren't really on her radar before. For example, she might casually mention that she's been getting into the same obscure band or hobby you once talked about, just to create a point of connection. These aren't random coincidences. These are conscious or subconscious efforts to stand out in your eyes, to be seen as someone worthy of your attention. And when a woman is putting in that kind of effort without you even asking for it, that's a strong, often unspoken clue that she sees you as someone worth impressing. Number 5. People fidget or get nervous around you. Sometimes people get a little weird around you, and not in a bad way. just noticeably more fidgety or awkward than usual. They might stumble over their words, adjust their clothes, touch their hair, or start talking with way more energy than the situation really calls for. It's easy to chalk it up to nerves or personality, but often it's because they're feeling your presence more than you realize. When someone's attracted to you, even subtly, their body reacts before their brain can catch up. The sudden need to fix themselves, the nervous laugh, the quick glance away, it's all a sign that you've thrown off their usual rhythm. You might not be doing anything special, but something about you is making them extra aware of how they're coming across. And that kind of effect? It's a strong indicator that you're giving off way more of a pull than you think. 6. Friends tease you about having secret admirers. When your friends keep teasing you about people checking you out or having secret admirers, it's usually not just for fun. They've noticed something you're probably overlooking. Friends are often the first to pick up on the little signals you miss. The way someone keeps looking at you, smiles a little too long, or acts different when you're around. And while they might laugh about it or turn it into a running joke, there's often some real truth behind it. You might think they're exaggerating, but more often than not, they're just calling out what's obvious to everyone except you. Sometimes we're so used to our own reflection or energy that we can't see how much we actually stand out. So when your friends keep hinting that someone's into you, it might be time to believe them. They're probably seeing the signs of attraction you've been too close to recognize. Number 7. You're often told you're intimidating without trying. Sometimes people describe you as intimidating, even though you're not doing anything to come off that way. You're just being yourself, calm, collected, maybe a little reserved. But for some reason, others seem hesitant or nervous around you at first. That reaction usually isn't about you being unapproachable or cold. It's often because they find you attractive. When someone is drawn to how you look or the energy you give off, it can make them second-guess themselves or feel a little self-conscious. They might even admit later on that they were too shy to talk to you or thought you were out of their league. It's not that you were trying to make anyone feel that way. It's just that your presence was stronger than you realized. What feels natural to you can be incredibly striking to someone else, and that can create a kind of pressure they don't know how to handle at first. 8. You don't have to try hard to get attention. There are people who can walk into a room without saying a word and still get noticed. And chances are, you might be one of them without even realizing it. Whether you're dressed to the nines or just in something casual, people seem to naturally gravitate toward you. It's not always about your clothes or how styled you look. It's something deeper. That magnetic pull you give off, it's a combination of how you carry yourself, the calm or confident energy you bring, and yes, the way you look too. You don't have to be loud or try to steal the spotlight. It kind of just finds you. And while it might seem normal to you because it's always been that way, others pick up on it. That quiet attention you receive, the way people seem curious or drawn in without you doing much at all, that's a real sign you've got something special going on. If a few of these signs sounded familiar, chances are you're more attractive than you think. Pay attention to the way people respond to you, because the signs are there. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. I'll catch you in the next one.